Gintama set us up more than once for the loss of loved ones, the pain of carrying on with your life without that kind of security blanket around you. And of course, sometimes life isn't quite so easy to understand. Some things can be complicated. And considering we have a father that was rumoured to have passed on a while ago, what exactly is happening? Going back year after year, just for a single meal. Getting it split, having a meal as one big family. And it was the husband's kind of, wish, carry on the tradition. We know who the man is, but why exactly he's still around and reappeared every now and again. So many mysteries in following the lives of the homeless folk. And then, of course, let's not forget the dumb shit we get thrust into right away. Don't take everything too seriously. Lost family, homelessness, and not really anything too serious. Especially when you can have the joke of someone swimming around in sewage water. I do like the comic book-esque panels of the opening. But with a lot of side stories and extra stuff just going on. There's a fair few episodes in this, and if we can expect about 2 to 3 episodes per story, we can get through a little bit. And then when we actually get to rejoin the main storyline and what's going on, we'll be eager for it. I need to wring out all of their shit. Nice and fresh bread crusts. Hopefully they didn't fall in the water either. Hasegawa being the one to really press home wanting to forget things that you've done. So knowing a bit more of the truth. But yet it's still too painful to tell her? Why would you tell the truth? I see. So he died, the man who he was, in relation to the family, died. He, well, yeah. I mean, that's... Okay, that part might be a bit more difficult to swallow, but... The whole saving a kid from a raging river kind of story, it's not the worst. Good old amnesia storyline. Oh, to the point where he has such a short-term memory. Managed to find him. Was he the one in the river? It would explain why he's going to such lengths. Yeah, giving him a way of remembering each time, writing it down maybe. Yeah, the year's tradition for something that she wouldn't know about why he was carrying on. On some level. Ah. Maybe not the plea itself, but a memory from years back. I'm sure they did. That's a kind of a kind of family you'd want, despite not having much in this world, still caring for each other. Nah, you're right. There's something. Just wandering the sewers in our cardboard armor. I wonder what kind of defense it actually imparts. They're there for some sober. I mean, of course, someone like someone was well connected, like Katsura, wouldn't just leave it unprotected, especially after hearing the threats beforehand. Maybe they just haven't eaten for a while. Ah. Yeah, you might have to queue for a while. Now, other than just because they're now in this gang and following the wishes of their leader, any particular reason why they are really putting up this much of a fight? Maybe it's just something to do. You know, being homeless is probably quite boring. What are they going to use in... That's what he meant by entrust themselves. Okay. What about Gintoki? What's his... Well, answered that one. Forgetting his role in all of this, who he is in the storyline. We've seen important battles beforehand, what they're really fighting for, and we've seen people being used as weaponry before as well. But it won't really ever get tiresome. They would just... The narrators of this tale. Something tells me that it's not entirely true there. I wonder how much of Hasegawa's face will be left along the concrete there. The fact that Gintoki has such a good grip, a good way of wielding his new weapon. I suppose allowing him to have a bit of fun? I wonder if there'll be a delivery charge. I mean, it's quite a dangerous route she's taking. Because of what she was told. if someone has completely lost their memories to the point where it gets reset every day, back in the river. Replaying the tragic tale. Coming together once more. It might get a little waterlogged though, depends on how well wrapped it was. No hesitation. Also, the shock of hitting water like that. Would put you in a state of shock, and there goes the bowl. But her grasping for that with such vigor. And it plays out once more, him disappearing amongst the... amongst the foam. How is it snowing? On some level, you'd like to hope that they do. He wanted soba, didn't he? Is this going to be another separating it out? It's New Year. You got to have a shared bowl of ramen. I think I see where this is going. For the effort they put in before. I mean, she made it. Just for anyone to have a meal on New Year's. It's more deserving. Well, there's some others more deserving of it. Is he going to do a spin on the sentence, or just say it de facto? Just can't eat that much. Seem to have cleaned himself up a little. First time took his memories, second time took his legs. But did it give back a part of himself? Good thing there was already one made. I was about to say, the 4 sets of footprints in the snow walking off from a job well done. Not really going to get a lot for your money though if it's divided into 6 portions. But the fact that they are all seen now as a member of her family, want to share a meal with. When I started this little storyline, I had almost forgotten about the ramen shop owner. And the side story with Cassida way back then. Can't remember what episode number that was. But the fact that we are continuing it on slightly. How many more characters are we going to revisit? See how they're doing, how they've got on over the years. And since we've finished that story on such a tearful moment, this isn't a preview. How's it going? Was this going to be the 78th attempt? Different shades. I think that was part of the point. Yeah, you don't have to take such actions to test it, though. Excuse me? It would cause problems for him. That's why it would cause problems for him. It would give away his positioning. I mean, as a way of calling someone down off the edge, seems a bit hypocritical. But, it got him down. Seems effective. Those elusive city boars. I see, a rivalry to really go down through the ages. We'll go with something like that, okay. There will be times when we all lose family with it, whether it be permanent or just out of touch. But as long as you keep them in your heart, always think about them, they're really, truly, truly gone. And let's not forget that there's always going to be those out there you can probably count on. If nothing else, then to steal your food. But also for her to cling on to that bowl while falling into the river, not for any intrinsic value in the ramen itself, but for everything it stood for, everything it meant to her. Feeling that if she let that go, she'd let go on her father, let go on everything that her husband has tried to do throughout the years. But really, the idea of Gintoki, the others, and Katsura leaving, not having that meal, and allowing her to have the moment alone with her father. What would the reunion really have been like if they had been present? And if we extract the story, sure, this one is about a ramen shop owner, but for Gintoki and the others, it might have just been a meal every once and again. But to some people, it could mean a whole lot more. We never really know what's going on in someone's mind, what they may or may not take for granted really hold dear to them. And a lot of the time, me especially, people can overlook a lot of things. So, if something in this storyline has really hit you hard, let me know. I'm not sure this is something that I can really relate to on such a level. My memory is pretty bad though, so I fear what the future may bring. Not remembering people, my life, family. That would be a horrendous future to hold. So I think I'll just make up for it right now by watching more anime. Just ignore what may come to pass and delve into some sewer water that is more Gintama. I don't exactly have a lot of ramen. What I do have is an unhealthy amount of cynicism. So if you enjoyed Gintama and want to see more, consider letting me know. Always leaving a like and a comment on the video helps out the channel. And for what I was told about this, the slip arc being the run-off storylines, the ones that we didn't have time to go over, the ones that didn't really get fleshed out, the ones that they didn't think, we can just leave these ones out. Putting them into a season of itself. Getting more of those backstories, getting more of those offshoot stories of characters we might not really interact with all too much. Fleshing out the world a little. While it may not be intrinsically important to stop plot or storylines, I am enjoying it quite wholeheartedly. So we've got to see what comes up in the future. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that. But for now, go have yourself a bit of rest. And I'll see you there. If you wouldn't mind sharing a meal with my channel, consider joining onto my Patreon. Because the likes of Electricant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Arthea, Shiwan, Mats, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyville, Gintaman, William Welch, Dark Shadow 7899, Mecha42, Jeremiah Teema, Finesse Kid and everyone else have so far probably gone quite hungry because I haven't really been able to serve much. But the fact that you're here and remember me actually means far more than I think you realise.